I will conquer my opponent. Defeat will not be in my creed. I will believe where others have doubted. I will always uphold the prestige, honor, and respect of my team. I have trained my mind and my body will follow. Who am I?
I'm a champion!
Okay, so if that didn't give you a raging hard-on for some sweet Rainbow Six action, I don't know what will. I'm SDreadnoug, and you're watching Why You Should Play Rainbow Six Siege. So you probably recognize the name Rainbow Six from when it— oh fuck, I just hurt my chest. Oh. So you probably recognize the name Rainbow Six from when a group of gentlemen played it a few years ago and made everyone shit themselves with laughter.
What just happened?
After the success of Rainbow Six Vegas, Ubisoft was pushing for a new title, and that's where Rainbow Six Siege came in.
I called you here today because we face dire circumstances.
Set in a world where an elusive terrorist organization known as the White Mask is on the rise, you play as a part of the most elite counterterrorism unit in the world, with members from FBI SWAT, SAS, Spetsnaz, GSG-9, GIGN, and most recently, JTF-2 and the Navy SEALs. Even though there's a background to what you're actually fighting, there's no actual campaign or story for you to play. Just a set of introductory missions to explain how the game works and to give you a quick primer before you play against other real people. As for the actual gameplay, at a base level, IGN would probably classify this as a tactical FPS, but it quickly becomes much more interesting. At the start of each game, you're split up into an attacking side and a defending side, with 5 dudes on each. As the intelligent among you might have gathered, the attackers have to— that was so condescending, I'm really sorry about that. I'm really sorry. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. The attackers have to attack an objective, while the defenders have to defend that objective. Kind of obvious. That objective being a bomb, hostage, or maybe even a chemical container. Now onto what makes the game different from your average shooter. At the beginning of the round, the attackers get 30 seconds to drone it up and try and find the objective using drones. Drones are basically the most underrated aspect of the game, and are pretty key to winning a round. Whilst the attackers are being the US government, the defenders are busy prepping the room, putting down defenses like barbed wire, reinforced walls, barricades, or maybe even a fucking turret, because that's just what people carry around on their backs sometimes. Once the joyful festivities of the preparation part of the round are over, and everyone's all droned out, the attackers will sneakily begin their very loud breaking and entering. And doing so by breaching walls, breaching doors, and maybe even breaching floors. The rest of the gameplay is pretty self-explanatory. The defenders continue to defend until the time runs out, or all the attackers are dead, and then vice versa with the attackers. What I really love about Siege though is the operators that you can choose from. In the base game there's 20 operators, all with unique abilities. Just a quick rundown of all of the operators' names though. So for the SAS we got Sledge, Thatcher, Mute, Smoke. With FBI we have Thermite, Ash, Castle, Pulse. With GIGN we have Twitch, Montagna, or however you want to pronounce that, Rook, and Doc. With Spetsnaz we have Glaz, Fuse, Kapkan, Tachenka. With GSG-9 we have Blitz, IQ, Jaeger, and Bandit. And then now with the DLC we have the JTF-2 with Frost and Buck. And then with Navy SEALs, it's Valkyrie, or Valkyrie, wherever you come from, and Blackbeard. Alright, so at this point in the video I kind of realized that I didn't really explain why you should get this game. I kind of just explained the features of it, I guess, which, I mean, that might help you in some way, or hopefully it does. I just spent 4 minutes doing that. Anyway, I thought I should give you 3 simple reasons as why you should play this game, and maybe those will be some deciding factors, and I'll give some points as to why you might not want to play this game as well. Just because I don't want you spending your money on this game if it's not going to be something you enjoy. First reason, tactical realism. What I mean by tactical realism is, say you're entering a building in Rainbow Six. If you're playing a normal shooter, you just barrel through the front door in slow motion, fucking up everything. In Rainbow Six though, you have to do things, well, tactically. So in other words, clearing room by room, checking corners, and communicating with your teammates as much as possible. 2. Communication. I know for a fact that playing Xbox or PlayStation or Wii U with your friends is inconceivably better than just playing by yourself, but sometimes your friends might not be online. In Rainbow Six, the majority of the time you have to communicate with people on your team, and I can say from experience that this has definitely caused some major laughs. Also, you can probably imagine that you can find yourself getting really into it and sounding like a military operative, thanks to all the tactical realism. 3. General atmosphere and immersion. Ubisoft has definitely very successfully conveyed the tense atmosphere that is needed in this game, considering the threat that you're dealing with. The gameplay would definitely be ruined if you had constant music playing in the background and if you got a 25 kill streak you could call in a tactical nuke. Rainbow Six Siege 6 does something that you could honestly happen in real life, and creates a whole new level of immersion that I personally have never experienced before with any other game. Alright, so I'm just going to go over a couple cons to the game that might stop you from getting it. So the first one is the in-game currency. In-game currency is a pretty big part to the game, and if you're the kind of person that gets very easily tempted by microtransactions, you might not want to play this game. Bear in mind you can easily afford everything, such as attachments for your guns, after playing only 2 games. But for things like the DLC operators, you'd have to play a long time or just spend more real-life money on the game. Okay, secondly, in order to keep true to realism, the game does have a friendly fire system turned on. And of course, considering you only have 1 life, this can get immensely frustrating if you are killed by a friendly. Ubisoft is trying to sort this out though, because there are not a lot of trolls, but I occasionally get plagued by 1 or 2. But reportedly, Ubisoft has said that frequent team killers are going to start receiving bans. And the more they team kill, the longer the ban's going to be, and eventually it's going to end in a permanent life ban. Alright, so after going through some key points as to why you should play the game, hopefully you understand a bit more about it, and maybe I convince you to get it, or if those cons turned you off, like friendly fire or whatever, that's fair enough. You might not like this game, might not be the one for you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm glad you stuck around to this very end. Hopefully it was educational. I'm SDreadnoug, and thanks for watching.